Good morning. How you doing today? Today I got a really great deal yesterday on some vegetables and they're close date. So because I'm not going to use these all up in one fell swoop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice them and then I'm going to blanch them and then I'm going to freeze them individually and then stick them in bags so that I'm going to bag them up per serving, and then I'll have them whenever I need them. So I'm going to start by setting up my little machine over here. There we go. Release that. So I'm going to cut the ends off them. And a couple of them have some little spots, so I'm using these great little Pampered Chef knives. You can get these in a set, and they're really handy to have. You get like 3, I believe, in a set. But I'm going to cut off the little brown spots. And then I'm going to set this. It's on slice. I'm going to go to a 3, I think, and see how I like the looks of a 3 on that. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what the 3 is on that. So I'm going to go through and slice these up. Whoops. And my next step, once I get these sliced up, is I'll move over to the boiling water. So I'll be back once I get these all sliced up and I get the water boiling. So as I got to thinking about it, I thought that maybe that was a little bit too thin of a slice. So I moved it up to a 5 because, you know, usually you use them like in your lasagna, if you make a veggie lasagna, or if you're adding vegetables to a dish. So I did move up to the 5 and I like that slice. I think that's a nice level on it. So I'm going to keep going and finish these up real quick. And the other thing I learned was put it in neck down, because that makes it go a lot better. So put it in neck down, where I had the fat end down before, and you get that better cut that you like on those. You know, if you need to adjust them, adjust them. These guys are really tiny, so to get that long look, you want to adjust them a little to get the right feel for them. So I'm going to finish these up. Okay, so the water is boiling now. So I am going to take and fill this basket up partially full because I need it to be submerged in the water. There we go. Let's see if I can get them all in the water on this. Nope, I'm going to have to take some out. There we go. So they need to stay in the boiling water for 1 minute, and then you need to plunge them into the ice cold water for a minute. So the reason we're doing this is because it stops the enzymes that change the flavor in it. It stops them from changing the flavor when they're frozen. If you are not going to keep them frozen for over 6 months, you don't have to worry about that. You can just slice them and individually, you know, freeze them on the cookie sheet and then drop them into sealed bags and put them in the freezer. But because I'm not sure how long these will be, I decided I would go ahead and blanch. And I have my timer set here for 2 minutes. And we've got 1 minute up. So now it's time to go over here for the next minute. And we want to plunge them in the ice cold water. So my water's starting to boil again over there, which is good. I've got about 10 more seconds left in here. You just need to blanch them for a minute, just long enough to retard that enzyme from breaking it down. And then from here, I'm going to throw them in my strainer over in my sink. And I'm going to fill it up again and start all over again. So you do this process until you have them all done, or until you've got enough to fill up your cookie sheets. And once you got enough to fill up your cookie sheets, then I just fill up my cookie sheets, because they need to set individually on the cookie sheet and go in the freezer for an hour, because that'll freeze them and that'll keep their shape so they don't turn into a big old ice clump, because who wants a clump of squash, you know? It's much nicer when you have them in the little individual pieces, and they look like that. So I am going to finish these up, and I'll be back with you before I pan them up so you can see what I'm talking about. So I moved over to a bigger pan because I wanted to be able to get my strainer in there better. Anyways, these are the ones we've got done so far. So all I'm doing is simply laying them out on this pan. And then I have a chest freezer down in the basement. And I'm going to set them on top of the food in there for an hour just to give them a chance to freeze. And then I'll bring them back upstairs and I will bag them. So basically what I'm doing is just this. I'm just laying them out flat like that, and that way they'll freeze in individual pieces and they won't get all stuck together unless I do a sloppy job like I'm doing, and then I get stuck together a little bit. But you just lay them out like that. So I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, so I did change over to the bigger pan, which works way better. So this is my last batch to do, and I've got one in the strainer there. So I'm going to get this one finished up. See, it does work much better if you get it in the bigger pan. I thought about it, and then I thought for the sake of being able to see stuff better, it might be easier to use that small one. But yeah, my bad. Bigger pan works much better. So I'm going to let these finish up, and then when I get a frozen tray, I will pull them back out and show you what I do next. Okay, so we are out of the freezer. And I am just going to bag these up now, and then I'm going to throw them back into the freezer. So the reason we use the parchment paper is so they don't stick to the bottom of the pan. And as you can see from everything I've been doing today, I do not have a complete 100% Pampered Chef kitchen right now, because I just haven't bought all the products yet, and you know it can get a little expensive. So that's one of the reasons I decided to start selling Pampered Chef, is because I figured I could go ahead and earn money to revamp my whole kitchen into a Pampered Chef kitchen. So if you might be interested in selling it, give me a shout out and I'll sit down and chat with you. And if you'd like to have a party and start building your own Pampered Chef kitchen, I'd be more than happy to help you with that too. So that's all I got for today. Bon appetit!